All right, we're gonna turn this into a little witch wreath. So I'm going to strip all of this off from this little wreath form that I got at the Dollar Tree, and then these little legs we are going to add a little polyfill and sew them up so we can add them onto the wreath as well. So we're going to start by cutting as close to that little ring as possible to separate them. And set that aside. The polyfill, we're just going to use the little stick that comes with the polyfill and start pushing it in. Push it all the way down in there. All right, so there's a little bit left in to go in this leg. I am not filling them all the way up to the top because we need to be able to attach the legs onto the wreath form. So I'd say about 1.5 inches. We're gonna set the little legs aside for now, and we're gonna cut everything off from this. We don't need it, except if we can leave the little hook right there, the ribbon, to be able to hold it onto the door, that would be great. If not, then we'll go ahead and make our own. So snip all this off. Try and save it for something else. So the ribbon to hang it on the door is secured onto the frame, so we don't have to worry about adding one. We're going to clean up our mess here. All right, we have our empty frame and our little legs. Now we want our legs to be secured onto the wreath form. I want mine to kind of face forward a little bit, so make sure that they will. I'm just going to take that and wrap it around the wreath form. Now, if you have a sewing machine, you can make it a quick job of getting it sewn on by just simply sewing it with the sewing machine. But I am not pulling my sewing machine out, so I'm going to sew it on by hand. The legs are attached to the frame. Now we're going to cut our mesh, so we're going to set our little wreath, our witch hat and legs aside. I think I'm just going to, so this is a black mesh, I'm going to cut 10-inch strips. So I have something to weigh it down. It helps when it comes to mesh. And then I'm going to cut quite a few pieces just so I have enough to work with. All right, I have all of my mesh cut. I cut about 20 10-inch strips, and I also cut some black pipe cleaners in half. I brought my wreath form back over. I'm gonna kind of slide that over a second. I'm going to take my mesh, cut my strips here, and then in the middle, I'm just gonna kind of walk my fingers up it to kind of gather it, and then I'm gonna pinch those. Take the pipe cleaner, put it on the wreath form. I think I want to go, well, I'm going to start at the end here. So I'm going to go up underneath this little mark right here, and then I'm going to put my mesh down and twist that on. Move my fingers up the middle, kind of gather, take my pipe cleaner, and this time I'm going to go in between the first little section and then that second section and wrap my pipe cleaner around the mesh. I'm going to continue working on this. It's been a long time since I made one of these. These are so cute. I think we called her Wanda the Witch. Lost my pipe cleaner. Oh, no, I didn't. And make sure you twist that pipe cleaner on real tight. That way your mesh does not fall off. Now I'm just going wherever I find an opening that needs to be filled. So there's really no particular place that I'm putting it. Some are going one direction and some are going the other direction. And then I'll just kind of push them around to make them nice and full. Isn't she looking cute so far? We're almost done. We just have a little bit more, probably about 2 more pieces. 3 pieces left, so 17 pieces have been used to make her little frilly part of her hat. Alright, now to cover this part of her hat, we're going to try to keep this out so we don't lose that. We're going to take the rest of our roll of mesh and we're going to start at the top and kind of, I guess we're going to gather this is how we're going to do it. And then we're going to wrap around the mesh with a pipe cleaner, secure that. I'm going to cut this off just a little bit, I think. And then the opening right here, we're going to tuck that part that we have on the pipe cleaner down in along with the pipe cleaner. Get that pipe cleaner in there. And then we're going to back it up just a little bit and use that pipe cleaner to help secure the mesh onto the wreath form here. Tuck that down, and I'm going to tuck this down, and then we're going to take the, so I'm going to hold this down with my thumb, and we're going to take the mesh and we're going to throw it on the floor and start wrapping it around. Make sure that we get that top piece covered really well. And I'm also remembering to keep that out, our little string to be able to hook it onto the door with. So I'm just kind of holding that down too. We're going to keep wrapping it around. Getting it nice and tight too as I go. Kind of pull those back that we already had on the bottom part of the, was that the brim of her hat? And then I'm just going to keep get it all the way down. So the little grippers that were already holding the little, I don't know what that stuff is, the little foil stuff that was on this before, will help hold the mesh onto the wreath form as well. And then the fact that we're just wrapping it around also helps. All right, so this is up. I want to go around one more time close to the base, and then when I get to the back here, I'm gonna gather it all up, take a pipe cleaner, and we're gonna run that pipe cleaner underneath the form here. And then lay that mesh on top of that pipe cleaner and tie that pipe cleaner tight. Actually, let's do two. Do it right through here. Get that nice and secure. All right. And then we're going to cut the rest of that mesh off. Actually, what we're going to do, we're going to cut a little bit, and then we're going to undo that last one that we just tied. We're going to wrap that this here. I'm going to wrap that on around the bottom of the wreath form right here. Wrap that around. And then we're going to take mesh, or the pipe cleaner, and wrap that around there and secure it. Just to make sure that it's double secure. Now, isn't she looking cute? Oh my goodness, I love her. We got our hook. All right, now we need to add a little something more into her little brim of her hat. So we're going to slide her over a second. Okay, I picked up at the Dollar Tree some ribbon and then some fake flowers. I think she needs a little pop of purple for sure. And then look at this black one has a little eyeball in it. And then there's a spider in this one. So I am going to take my wire cutters. Oh, there's a spider in this one too. I'm going to take a long stem, cut it. We'll do that one as well. And a couple, well, let's do a couple of the black roses, I guess. Let's do one of these ones too. And definitely got to have the purple ones and a bat for sure. All right, let's just put these together like this. Little batty. So they kind of lay down is what I'm thinking. The spider. All right, I have wire, I think it's 20 gauge floral wire. I'm just going to wrap that around all those stems of the flowers. So those are all nice and secure. We can move them around and bend them a little bit. We're going to use this pipe cleaner. We're going to open it up from the mesh, and we're going to lay our flowers on that, twist it on good and tight, and then we're going to come in and we're going to cut those ends off. Move it around a little bit. All right, now, should she have a bow? Let's see if we can put together a real quick bow. Nothing fancy. I don't want the pumpkin. I'm just gonna do this one that has spider and glitter. Purple spider glitter. And then this is just black glitter. I'm gonna leave a little bit of a tail, not much. So. Alright, so what I'm doing is I am creating a loop. Now nice and straight. Putting it back on in the middle here and pinching it with my fingers. And then what is still on the spool, I am twisting so that pattern is up. And then loop it back around. This one does not want to curl very well. And then twist again. All right. Got my little tail there, so I want this one. Twist it around too. And we're gonna cut that. And we'll fix that in a minute. I think she's just gonna have, we're gonna wrap this around once just to kind of, I think she just needs the one color. All right, we're gonna take a little clip of the floral wire that we had used already. And take that, and we're gonna find, I think right here. I think that'll be pretty right there. So we're gonna take and open up that pipe cleaner again, one of those pipe cleaners. We're gonna use that to help secure the bow to Little Miss Wanda the Witch. And then let's fluff that bow up. Oh, first, before we fluff, let's cut those little tails into a dovetail. So fold the wire edge back over onto itself, and on the cut edge, cut down toward the wire edge, and that will create a little dovetail. So fold the wire edges together. On the cut edge, cut down toward the wire edge. Now we're just gonna fluff the bow up, and Little Miss Wanda is ready for a door.